What's up, guys? So here are my picks for UFC Fight Night: Whittaker versus Gastelum, and let's get to it. Last week I didn't make a video, but I hit 8 out of 13 for those who care. But it's whatever, because again, I didn't make videos or anything. But this is a pretty badass event. I think this is better than last week, and I think this is actually better than the pay-per-view for the following week. I mean, other than the main event on that one, I like more this one better. So Whittaker versus Gastelum. This is so I'm picking Whittaker to win by decision, but this is one of those where I can totally see Gastelum rising up to the occasion and winning. It's one of those where like I'm not super confident. I'm like what am I? I'm like 70-30 Whittaker by decision. But Gastelum could have very well upset. I believe Gastelum has enough power where if he lands clean on Whittaker, he can knock him out. If you were to use for example, 1 point of comparison between Till, no, not I guess Till as well, but between I guess we have 2 points of comparison. We have Adesanya, right? Adesanya destroyed Whittaker in a round. I think it was just a few minutes, and he knocked him out. Adesanya took Gastelum to a decision, and for a few rounds, it was actually pretty. Gastelum made it a very competitive fight, where he actually hurt Adesanya and had him a little wobbly. So that's one fight to compare. Yeah, you can definitely say that Gastelum did way better against Adesanya than Whittaker. And then the fight between Till, that one is a matter of opinion. But so Till beat Gastelum by split decision. However, that was one of those bullshit split decision. That was 100% unanimous. It should have been 30-27 Till or 29-28 Till. Whoever gave Gastelum that win was on crack that day. So it was a clear win for Till. But the one between Whittaker and Till, I mean, till this day, there's a lot of people that think Till could have won that fight. Round one was, I would have to rewatch and I want to do that, but I remember round one was clearly Darren Till. Round two was Whittaker. And there was another round that was clearly Till, and there were two that were very close. But yeah, the thing is about this fight is Whittaker's coming from his last fight from putting a solid victory over Jared Cannonier. Other than that first round where you could argue that maybe Cannonier stole it. Round two, Whittaker completely controlled him on the ground. And then round three, he almost knocked him out. I had him real hurt. So round 2 and 3 was solid domination for Whittaker. Round 1 was competitive enough where, again, you could argue that maybe Cannonier took that round. And Gastelum is coming from beating Ian Heinisch in a very solid 30-27 decision where Ian Heinisch had no answer for Gastelum for anything, not on the striking, not on the speed, not on the grappling. As a matter of fact, Gastelum was able to take him down. I don't see Gastelum being able to take Whittaker down or out-grapple him, and I definitely don't see him being able to outstrike him. But I do see him being able to connect a shot that can hurt Whittaker. That is why I give Gastelum a very decent puncher's chance on this fight, because Gastelum is not a bum. I mean, this guy lost to Hermanson, but that was like 10 seconds into the fight. He lost to Till and he lost to Adesanya. These are not just bums that are beating him. These are high level guys. So I am picking Whittaker, but I am being, because Gastelum has shown that when he fights a legit top middleweight, he'll struggle, and that's what Whittaker is. So, but again, no one should be surprised or mind blown if Gastelum goes there and absolutely shocks the world and just lands a clean shot that knocks Whittaker out. But I have Whittaker by decision. I think he's the better striker and good enough to keep the fight standing. But It only takes one from a Gastelum. So Whittaker by decision. Before that, we have Klose and Jeremy Stephens. I have Jeremy Stephens on this one. Knockout round 2. I don't think Klose has the striking, the speed, the cardio, or the grappling to do anything to Stephens. I don't think he's going to be able to out-grapple him, like take him down and control him. I don't think he is the better striker. I don't think he hits harder. I don't think he has more experience. I really don't know. I'm trying to see where is one area where I will give Klose the edge, and I don't see it. I really don't. He doesn't hit harder. As a matter of fact, Stephens is known for being a one-punch knockout artist. So this is one of those fights that I think a lucky punch or a puncher's chance is a very well-placed punch for Klose. It's the only way that I see him winning this fight. I don't see him winning by decision, by submission, or by I don't think he'll be able to outstrike Jeremy Stephens. I don't think he'll be able to take him down and control him. He just doesn't have those tools. And again, Stephens has been knocked out before, so puncher's chance. Stephens is coming from a lot of losses, but look at the guys. Calvin Kattar, that guy is top. Then the fight with Yair Rodriguez, another tough guy. Sabit Magomed Sharipov, who I don't know where that guy is, but that guy has a win over Stephens. He has a win over Kattar. So again, another guy that might fight for the title very soon. And before that, Jose Aldo, who, again, if you've seen Aldo, he gave Petr Yan his toughest fight. I guess you can argue that Sterling kind of did, but Stephens is not losing to bums, and in my opinion, this is a step down to when he's fighting Klose. He's coming from getting knocked out by Benil Dariush. I guess Stephens by KO or TKO round 2. I think he'll find his range, he'll find his distance, and eventually land the punch that puts Klose away in the second round. Before that, we have Andrei Arlovski versus Chase Sherman. Just like the co-main event, I have Arlovski by KO or TKO round 2. There's absolutely nothing special about Chase Sherman. This guy got cut from the UFC for losing too many times. Then he goes to a small organization, gets a few wins. Now he's back in the UFC. His last fight was against Ike Villanueva. A nobody when it comes to the rankings, and he knocked him out, but he still didn't look. If you just compare that guy to the level of Arlovski, Sherman is not the better striker. He doesn't have the power, and again, a situation where these guys are heavyweights, and Arlovski has been knocked out so many times that you gotta assume that if Sherman lands clean, he'll knock him out. But that's what I thought that Tanner Boser was gonna do, and Arlovski was able to eat every shot Boser threw at him. That was a huge upset to me. I was convinced that Arlovski was gonna get knocked out round 1, and as a matter of fact, he landed clean shots on Tanner Boser that he put respect on him, and he wasn't able to do anything. I think I also picked, Philippe Lins to beat him, but to knock him out, and he was not able to do it either. These are heavyweights. These guys punch hard, so I give Chase Sherman his puncher's chance, but I think Arlovski, despite his age, he has shown that in the few years that he's looked better than he did before a few, 6, 7, 8 years ago. His last fight versus Tom Aspinall, he almost got finished early in that first round, but he survived. And once again, he showed that he can hang with top level strikers. Aspinall took him down and submitted him. Sherman doesn't have that. So I have Arlovski KO or TKO round 2. But again, huge puncher's chance, a very decent puncher's chance for Chase Sherman. These guys are heavyweights, and again, Arlovski has been knocked out many times. So something to be aware of. Then before that, we have Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Jacob Malkoun. I have Razak Alhassan by knockout round 1, but this guy is coming from 2 really bad losses. So his last fight versus Chaos William, he got knocked out, I think 19 seconds into the first round. One of those knockouts where he got knocked out flat, cold, with his toes curled, like he was out, he was unconscious. Nothing to take out of that fight other than Chaos William can punch hard. But before that, he got completely, pieced up and worked by Munir Lazez, where Munir just ate everything he threw at him and then was able to outstrike him, outgrapple him, outpace him. These guys are way better level than Jacob Malkoun. I pulled up Jacob Malkoun's last fight versus Phil Haas. Wasn't too long. Didn't last long. But it just shows that, based on the little fight, it shows that Alhassan doing what he normally does, he should be able to go out there and absolutely brutalize him in 1 round. Again, if you watch the fight with Phil Haas, that's exactly what Alhassan does. He goes in there, closes the distance, and immediately starts throwing bombs. And it looks like Malkoun, it looked extremely hittable. He looks low. This looks like the perfect fight for Alhassan to make a comeback, and that's where I'm picking Abdul Razak Alhassan knockout round 1. This is the one guy that I talked about. If you look at all his 10 wins, I think every single one of them is round 1 by knockout, and most of them in under a minute. So I think we're gonna see a repetition of that. Before that, we have Luis Pena versus Alex Munoz. I have Luis Pena by decision all day. Alex Munoz in his last fight versus Hack Paras, other than the initial takedown like 5 seconds into the fight, which he didn't do anything with it, and maybe just a few decent shots throughout the whole fight, he got absolutely dominated that fight. He got outstriked, he got out, again, other than that one takedown, I think he attempted 8 more and he wasn't able to land any of them. Nothing special about Alex Munoz. And even Pena, it's not a guy that I'm too impressed with, but I think he's just as good of a striker and just as good of a grappler, that he will be able to hold his grappling defense. But being that he's 6'3" and Munoz is 5'9", and just the height and reach of Pena is gonna be, in my opinion, such a huge factor into this fight. I think it's gonna be primarily a striking battle where Pena is just gonna use those physical advantages over Munoz and pull a decision. So I have Pena by decision. Running out of time here. And then Ricardo Ramos versus Bill Algeo. I actually have Algeo winning this one by decision. Algeo really impressed me both his last fight. Even in his loss to Ricardo Lamas, you could tell that he's a guy that does not quit. One of those guys that you have to put him away or he will not stop. And against Spike Carla, he just dominated him the entire fight. In the striking and in the grappling. In his last fight, Ricardo Ramos showed a lot of like fancy, flashy movements, but that stuff doesn't really work too much, especially when you get too fancy. It almost becomes like a joke, you can be fancy like Edson Barboza, where he picks his spinning stuff, or you can just be, dumb, pointless fancy like Ramos, where you just do all this weird shit that you're like, how does that help you, So yeah, I just think Bill Algeo is I think his determination to win and what he has shown is gonna carry him in this fight. Sorry, I'm out of time, guys, here, but I have Algeo by decision. So I have Whittaker by Whittaker by decision, Stevens by KO or TKO round 2, Arlovski by KO round 2, Abdul Razak Alhassan KO round 1, Luis Pena by decision, and Bill Algeo by decision. All right, guys, have a good one.